What up, YouTube? Today is September 30th with my, I believe, third update for my little tank rack series. I'm starting off with this tank just because I have a problem with this tank. If you can see on the very in this first little container right here, we have these plants, and on the substrate there's this white fungusy substance. I don't know exactly what it is. Let me try to get a closer shot. It's right there. It just looks like some white milky fungus. I'm not sure if, what it is. I don't know if it kills my plants. I don't know if it harms my plants. I haven't really done anything to change it or try to get rid of it. Just because I don't see my plants dying. Because I've read online that sometimes it could be like a fungal growth to get rid of extra nutrients, or not nutrients but organic matter, which makes sense because I recently put these plants in last week, so a lot of them could be melting away and such and whatnot. So I did put a couple snails in here to try to get rid of the mold, but they don't seem to like it. You can see one on the far left actually eating the brown algae. So yeah, this tank's doing pretty good, I think, minus the fungus. We have these little rainbows here. Kind of shy right now. I just turned on the light, so they're probably still waking up. You can see the lily bulbs slowly growing. I think it's because they're not growing as fast because the temperature has been swinging. It's not a constant, high 70s. Like a tropical lily should be, like summer. So they haven't been growing that fast. And I took the heaters off too because it actually got hot and then cold and hot. So I didn't want my tanks, go over 80, 85, 90. So I unplugged them. So it's been like at its lowest, but about 65, and at its highest about 90. In these small 10 gallons. Now over here in this tank, you might notice a little breeder box up top. That's because I was cleaning this tank, and I noticed about I was doing a really big water change, about 90%, and I noticed these little fry, and unfortunately I noticed it when I was 90% or 80% done with my water change. And then so I only found 3. They're in the little breeder box with little pieces of water wisteria, just the leaves, the dying leaves. I peel them off, and then these little moss balls. So hopefully they'll survive. I don't know if they will. This is my first time actually having baby Boesemani's. I didn't know they had babies. It kind of I guess the water quality was to their liking, and then they bred. I don't know. Yeah, but this tank is doing pretty well. All those Boesemani's are doing good. The plants are growing. The tank is super clear. It's probably the cleanest tank I have out of all 4 tanks that are set up. I'm gonna try to get a shot of the babies for you, but no promises because they're super small, and yeah, I don't even see them. Oh, actually you might. See right there in the... see if he's gonna come back out. It's like in between the little leaf. Yeah, there's only 3 of them in here. And I'm not feeding them any particular fry flakes or whatnot. But my idea was putting the moss balls, because I know they have microorganisms inside the mothballs and around it, so I was hoping that the baby will pick off those organisms. If not, then unfortunately, well, I'm gonna hope for the best. Hopefully they survive, but if they don't, then that's gonna suck. But yeah, I wasn't trying to have babies, so it won't be that big of a deal. I don't really have space right now. I haven't set up those 40 gallons yet, but yeah, so the Crips and the Java Fern doing really well. I have an onion plant back there also, so those are doing all really well. Yeah, and then the Java Ferns are actually reproducing or propagating. Let's see if I can find a good example for you. Everything looks green on the screen, to be honest. If you look in the center of the screen, you'll see those little brown hair-like things. Those are actually new little lace or wind devil Java ferns. They actually propagate either from splitting or from making new plantlets, I guess, from the tips of their leaves. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to this next tank. Oh, alrighty. This was a trouble tank about a couple weeks ago. This is the one with a lot of cloudy water. Yeah, now it's obviously not cloudy, and I'll tell you why. Because I treated all these tanks for Calamanus anus worms. I'm not too sure how you pronounce it, but they're basically parasitic worms that go inside the intestines, and then they kind of, I guess, hinder your fish's ability to draw nutrients from its food. So the way I discovered them was I actually saw it from this little angelfish right here. You can see it from you can see the worms coming out of near the anal fin where they take a crap. So I actually treated all 5 tanks for all this worm, and during that time I had to do a blackout. So none of these tanks got light, and before, this tank had a lot of like off green algae, green water I believe they call it, and by doing that blackout it kind of killed the algae, and I actually did a large water change after that too. So last time I did a big water change and the algae just came back, but I believe with the blackout and the large water change was able to help me get rid of this algae. So you can actually see the tanks now, or the animals inside the tank. I took the snails in this tank and I actually put them to the far left tank I showed you in the beginning of the video. So this tank still has like some algae on the side, but at least I can see to the back of the tank. Unfortunately, the medicine I treated this tank with, or all the tanks with, was livermosal HCI or HCl, I believe, and it's not invertebrate friendly, I don't think. I heard it was, but it killed my crab, so unfortunately there's no more crab in here. So that kind of sucks. But another thing that sucks, if we go over here, remember my QT tank? Looks a little bit bare. You see a little, the glare is kind of killer. But I do still have 2 Iranian rainbows. I called them Millennium rainbows last time. That was actually wrong. I used to have 4 in here. One of them died because of I believe Calamaris. And then the other one, unfortunately, was totally my fault. I was actually changing the water and working on some other tanks to the left of me, these 10 gallons. So when I was changing it, I wasn't paying attention to the siphon, and one of the smaller rainbows got sucked up, so which was really unfortunate. But yeah, so now I only have 2. I believe they're 2 males. They look really nice, but well, they look kind of lame right now, probably stressed out because of the light. But yeah, these guys I'm probably gonna get a few more when I have time. Right now I don't really have time between school and work and life. We don't really have time to get more fish. But finally, last but not least, we have the 40 breeder. So not much has changed across the board. These fish are doing all right. Let's see if I can back up and show you another view. But what can I say? I should probably move the light up more so you guys can see the plants a little bit better. There you are. So what has changed in this tank? So when I did the blackout, I actually noticed that the Amazon sword, the one in the center right, actually started wilting a little, and that was only from a 24-hour blackout. So shows that how much plants actually depend on light. The crypts not so much because they're kind of mid to low light plants. Same with the Anubias, but yeah, you definitely saw the damage the no light would do to the Amazon swords. Another thing I noticed with these tubs, like although every plant gets its own container, what's kind of annoying is I have these Chinese algae eaters, and I was actually trying to move the algae eaters down to the 10 gallon and it's actually impossible to grab the algae eater because these containers are, it's like a little maze for the fish. So like, you know, I'm trying to use a net and I'm moving everything around, and it's like impossible to catch them. So I won't bother with that anymore because I put the snails down to the bottom left tank, or the 10-gallon. So that's not even a problem. But yeah, it was actually, I kind of gave up after like 10 minutes of trying to get them. But yeah, so that's everything new with new or old with my tanks. This is the third update, so 3 weeks in, I guess, since my first video. What else? What else do I have planned? I want to plant this the quarantine tank eventually, because I'm going to set up the 40 breeders soon. When I say soon, probably like 2 months. But yeah, I have like a plant addiction. Every time I go, I buy plants almost, yeah, every once a week. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be buying some more plants today. I'm not sure what kind, but if I do, then oh well. But yeah, this little the fungus thing on the very bottom right there, yeah, you can see it pretty well from this shot. I'm gonna, hopefully I'll get rid of that by next week. If not, then I'm gonna start looking into it more. Maybe start treating the tank. If it gets really bad, I'm gonna try to save the plants, which is my first priority, and well, behind the fish. And then yeah, I'll try to save the plants, because I obviously spent money on the plants and the fish. So, and then I'll probably wash out the gravel, let it sit out in the sun for a while, maybe see if I could kill the fungus. I don't know if it's from overfeeding, because I don't overfeed any of my fish. Actually, if anything, I underfeed. And then I don't know if it's from, it might be from extra organic matter, like I said earlier, but still I don't know. I'm gonna wait a week and see how you know, this fungus, you know, see if it disappears or if it, you know, takes over my whole tank, and then I'll pay close attention to my plants, see if they're wilting or whatnot. Hopefully they're not, which would, you know, so hopefully they don't wilt, because I don't want to really take down this tank, because this has been a problem tank since day one, from ick, and then now this fungus. So yeah, hopefully everything works itself out, and yeah, I'll probably see you guys next time with another update, probably updating about this fungus, the pond lilies, and see if those little baby Bosemani's are still kicking. So thanks for watching, and I'll probably see you guys next time.